Hey there, hi there, ho there, everybody. It's Jolo. We are here with Grid Vision at the J&M Group Monday Night Cup Series, live from virtual Chicagoland Speedway. And once again, it's me, Jolo, up in the booth with Sheldon Atkins and Austin Derbyshire down in the truck, making it all happen and coming to you live across the internet with the best that iRacing has to offer. Here as the Grid Vision satellite cam zooms down into my home territory, Chicagoland, and brings to you tonight's race. We're doing a $125 around here with about 30 cars, almost 30 cars on the track. It's going to be a nice full field. And Sheldon, how you feeling about tonight's race?
Well, I'm feeling absolutely great. Right now what we're looking at is one of the ghosts of NASCAR's boom period in the early 2000s, track opening up, I believe, in 2001. Kevin Harvick taking home the first win here. But, taken off the schedule around COVID because local litigation. Took a couple years for it to come back, but just announced recently it will be on the Cup Series schedule in its full glory next season. So definitely excited to get a chance to call here at such a unique racetrack as far as the amount of halves go.
Yes, sir. I'm excited too. I need to get actually down to see my first race here at some point. Hopefully this season I'll get a chance to. But why don't you tell us a little bit about going around here? Maybe some folks haven't had a chance to in a while. Maybe they haven't thought about it. What are some keys to driving around Chicagoland?
Well, one of the cool things about it being where it is in, geography-wise anyway, in Joliet, Illinois, a lot of weather changes, a lot of heat has certainly aged this surface. They haven't repaved it since 2001, so it's an abrasive track surface. It's going to tear tires up. There's bumps all over the place. One of the more unique surfaces on the schedule. So that's one thing these drivers are going to keep an eye on is their tire temps, their tire wear, and how their car is fading throughout a run. Secondly, can't make it stick on the bottom, run up on the top. You can run up against the wall. You can run middle. You can run bottom. You can run wherever you can really make the car work. It's going to be definitely beneficial for these guys to try different things out, especially with the dirty air that these next-gen cars put off. So you're going to see cars pretty much painted from the top to the bottom all race long. And finally, it's a bear. And when I'm talking about being a bear, it's that pit road entry. It can really reach out and grab you the wrong way. It can completely ruin your race if you're not cautious finding your way in there. So you look at the 81 machine right here. It's down, gets a little bit of that apron, snaps the car around. You're going to see a lot of that as these guys try to come down pit road because it is so easy to do that.
Well, all right. You just heard it straight from Sheldon. And now we're going to go into tonight's picks. For me, after looking a little bit at the results and just looking at the tea leaves as they swirled, I'm going to say Michael Matta. That's what I'm feeling, the number 16 tonight. Let's see what happens. How about you, Sheldon?
Matta's a great pick. I'm going to go with the 88 machine of Chris Cornett, though. Saw a lot of pace out of him at Daytona. Saw a lot of pace out of him last week, too, when we finally went to a mile and a half. Looks like that 88 car is up there at the front of the board for a reason. I think it's going to stick tonight.
And this week, the special, the Derby Double. It's Michael Matta again with the sandwich pick here. We got the 16, the 88, the 16, all looking very good across the board as Grid Vision's staff makes their picks. Who are you picking tonight? That's right, you. I'm talking to you. You know who you are. Let's see here. Let's see up in the chat, and let's see who your pick is. Maybe you'll have the prediction of the night that'll find your pick going across and getting a checkered flag. Looks like we got about 10 seconds left here officially on qualifying before we get ready for the grid. And then it'll be time to go around and around and around. Buck 25 here, 125 laps, a mile and a half. Looking really good. That egg-shaped track.
And that 125 laps is going to fly right off the board here with just the level of competition you can get here at Chicagoland. I'm going to hand it over to you here, though, with the starting grid, brother.
You got it, my friend. I'll give you the top 10, and you take it from there. Starting at the top, it's Andrew Pileshi in your pole position with Justin Lewis, last week's winner, on the outside. In third, it's Jacob Zala. Fourth, Michael Matta. Fifth, Ronnie Hurst. Sixth, Dalton Randolph. Seventh, Trevor Dalton. Eighth, Chris Cornett. Ninth, Adam Lowe. And 10th, Mark Kazin.
And starting in 11th place is going to be Corolla Steele with Eric Johnson is outside in 12th. 13th is going to be Nathan Sylvia with Maxwell Caldwell in 14th. Starting 15th place is going to be Jonathan Kisiber with Joshua Yarborough starting 16th. 17th place is going to be Mike Boone with Dominic Batts is outside in 18th. And running at the top 20 is going to be Joshua Stout and James Nelson.
Moving on from there, it's going to be Luke Wagner in the 21st position with Curtis Sauberin in the 22nd. 23rd, Todd Merkel. 24th, Benjamin Smith. And rounding out the field, Drew Kuhn in 25th with Terry Litwiller in 26th. All right. The drivers are getting a little bit of a rundown in terms of what's going on. And then after that, I think we are going to be on the move. I'm excited for this race. I haven't seen Chicago raced in a long time. I don't think you have either, Sheldon, as you mentioned. So it's going to be exciting any way you slice it, really, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an exciting race. I mean, it's a great track. It's a shame they got pulled off the schedule because, they finally started to get some really good races here in the Gen 6 car. And as soon as they, got this place working in their favor, COVID came along and they shut the doors down for a couple years.
That's so rough. That that was the situation. But you know what? Now that I'm into racing, now that I'm into NASCAR, it's a perfect time for it to come back because I'm going to get a chance to go down and give the point of view from the field here, and we'll see how things go. Maybe if somebody makes their way out to the Chicagoland area, we can meet up and go to a race sometime.
Happy to see that we're getting some of the good ovals brought back into seasonal rotation. Chicagoland being the top of the board with that. The newly revamped, revitalized North Wilkesboro comes out of its kind of ghost stage as well, and they're going to get a 400-mile race at that historic short track down in Wilkes County, North Carolina. Unfortunately, Dover's going to be the sacrificial lamb and lose its full season date and go to the All-Star race instead.
Sacrificial lamb, as you said. I was about to say nature is healing, but it sounds like it's just sort of shuffling things around a little bit.
No, I'd be careful. That was them messing around with Miles the Monster too much. But either way, on to you here as we get ready to take the green.
You got it, my friend, and here we go. Now down through 3 and 4. The guys are getting ready. There goes the pace car. Here we go with Andrew Pileshi and Justin Lewis out in the front looking for the green flag. And we are go, go, go here on Grid Vision.
Really good start there for the inside line. Pileshi gets a good advantage coming into turn 1. It's going to pull on the 7 machine of Lewis here into 1 and 2. Lewis now side by side with the 25 machine of Jacob Sala. Sala's one driver that's been really excited about coming to Chicago this week. Ran a lot of practice, said he's going to be fast here tonight, sitting there in 3rd place, working the bottom. And now it's just a matter of saving tires and being good when it matters. But Justin Lewis is going to take over that 2nd spot and hold him off here through 3 and 4 as Pileshi runs away with a decent lead in lead lap 1.
Matta making the slide down to the inside there of Chris Cornette. Cornette sideways now.
When he scrapes the wall hard through 1 and 2, but doesn't look like he did any damage to the steering. Hit the wall pretty flush. 25 machine, that's Sala that got the wall, actually. It looks like that steering's actually pretty well torn up. You see the wheel laying over all the way down the straightaway to the left. That's going to be a deep hole for him to dig himself out of, especially when there was so much promise at the start of this race.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, that was Zala. I got a little excited there. Zala falling back very far, but the wall just about saved him, I think, from the spin that he was about to start there. Unfortunate, as Chris Cornette, the driver I was talking about earlier, he makes his way up into 3rd. He's getting challenged now, though. Trevor Dalton makes the pass down on the inside, the 27 car, Auto Nation Collision Center car. Makes the pass there on Cornette, and he's looking for Lewis now, as everyone is looking for Pileshi, who is about a second, almost a full second ahead here of the rest of the pack.
I'll tell you what, I think some of these guys, like Lewis or Cornette, letting, the 27 machine of Dalton and the 81 machine of Pileshi just get up there to the front and run away. I think that is the right call, especially with this, bad as you can tear the tires off here in the Gen 7 car at Chicago. This tire model is different than everything else that we have in the Oval Series, and it really favors guys that are just cautious and gradual with their inputs to longevity on the long run.
And right now, we've got a slight break in the pack, a little bit, almost some contact between Cornette and Lewis, as Lewis puts a little bit of a squeeze on the outside line. He's still using the inside, though. Cornette's going to make that pass. He's going to stick up into 3rd place. A little bit of a gap right now between him and Trevor Dalton. Dalton, though, is able to make that pass. He's now making the pass for 1st with just enough speed. Can he do it? Yes, he can. Trevor Dalton pushes ahead of Andrew Pileshi.
He got up there and ran him down pretty quick. I'm thinking Pileshi may have chewed those tires off a little too much starting this thing off. But you see how quick the pack has absorbed that advantage he had at the start of the run. So you could look at the pass for the lead. Here you see Dalton just sent it down there on the flat, all the way up by the grass. Had a huge run coming out of 3 and 4 and just blew the doors off at the start-finish line.
That flat section of the track really pays off here at Chicagoland, especially. I've seen a lot of the drivers up here at the front and in general be using it to try to gain some of that advantageous position, to use the geometry, as I like to say sometimes, to get the advantage on the drivers around them. And it has been paying off. That transition, while tricky, can be advantageous.
I will say this isn't one of the trickier tracks with the flat. Some of the tracks we go to, you get down there, it really feels like the car wants to do anything else aside from be down there. I think of a track like Kentucky where you get that really big just hump in the pavement that tries to shoot you out back into the racing surface, or even Kansas can get really skaty when you get down there. Chicago, a little bit more simple trying to get that car down that transition.
Yeah, I've been noticing that. It's pretty smooth, honestly. It is a transition, but it's one of the smoother ones that I've seen. in terms of the overall expectations that the drivers have for how hard they're going to be hitting the flat section versus the banking. Now we have a situation where everyone is kind of getting a little strung out. We go a little further back though, and things are still kind of sorting themselves out. We're talking back around the 15 spot, 16 spot. Things are still sorting themselves out back here. Whereas up at the front, we've got that single file racing starting to settle in a little bit. We still got some two-wide situations going on back here. We got the 23 of Joshua Stout on the outside of Benjamin Smith there on the inside.
Right now, Ronnie Hurst starting to go to battle. As you see, Dominic Batts. This is 10th or 9th place right now. The 22 machine on the bottom, losing a bunch of momentum. Here comes Batts around the top with a huge head of steam. And that 10 machine, he's going to take over that spot. Pretty simple coming into 3 and 4 here. Now trying to make a work to the outside of the 58 machine here of Adam Lowe. Adam keeping it down there in that bottom lane. Dominic going to get another huge run though. Top line surging early, but I'm just wondering how long that's going to last. You know, we talk about it week in and week out with this next gen car. You get up there and it works for a couple laps, but you hit a cliff at some point where it all comes back to you.
Speaking of someone who fell off the cliff, Andrew Pileshi, our previous race leader, is now closing in on Adam Lowe's position of 8th. He's in 6th right now, but he was falling back a little bit for just a ways. He's just a little bit ahead right now of Dominic Batts, trying to stay in that 6th place spot. He's got the nose into the bumper of Justin Lewis, but Andrew Pileshi just not able to hold on to a strong podium position early in this race as he started. Unfortunately, he's gone from pole position now back to 6th. Let's see if he can hold on or if he's going to be falling off any further.
Yeah, right now looking at a battle also sitting here. The battle for 4th place is at war right now between Justin Lewis and Michael Matta. Matta really struggling with rear end security. The car's been pretty loose coming up off of these corners the past handful of laps, and Lewis just doing a really good job keeping the thing loaded up on the right front tire, keeping it straight, not putting too much yaw in it. And I think it's going to come back to him here as you see Matta running the top line now, trying to keep as much momentum in that 16 Mustang as he possibly can. But here comes a huge run to the inside for Lewis, giving him a lot of room here on the straightaway, though. Loses a little bit of time, goes down and covers the flat to try and keep himself even. And he's going to set it down to 1 and 2, and Matta knows that was basically lost. Lets the 7 machine of Lewis take the 5th spot from him, the 4th spot from him here.
Lewis down 2 from where he started, so he's got a little ways to go. The guys in front, Dalton, Cornette, Randolph, those 3 have all charged forward from where they started this race. So they were ready to go when the race started, ready to put some asphalt down, or put some rubber down, and to really, really make some moves, obviously. Cornette up 6, Dalton also up 6 from where he started. These guys both moving very, very well through the pack and holding on to these leads now. Whereas our previous leader, Andrew Pileshi, well, he's back in 7th place now after having fallen back severely over the course of just the first 15 laps of this race.
I'm really liking that. I'm seeing right now up at the front of the pack with an 88 machine of Chris Cornette at Xerox Chevrolet doing a really good job working the bottom. You see Dalton, kind of about a half lane up to a lane up through most of these corners. You see Cornette is setting it down there a little bit lower, tiptoeing the car through the corners. Doing a really good job keeping those tires alive. 2 laps ago, the 27 machine was about a 10th up on pace at the line. This last lap, 2 tenths to the negative to the 88 machine and Cornette.
Now let's see, we've got some people in the chat I want to quickly thank for your communication. We have some people cheering for old Ronnie Hurst there. And we've also got some folks saying, I'm going to go with the 22. Number 22 car of Ronnie Hurst. So Ronnie Hurst, you've got some fans out here in the audience.
Hurst running pretty good right now. Gives up a spot here though to Curtis Sauber into 3. But Hurst is trying to save a little bit of those Goodyear Eagles, maybe trying to save a little bit of extra fuel to make it to the end of this stint as well. Because remember, we are on a reduced fuel cell this week too.
That's true. That's true. Reduced fuel cell means we're going to also have, I'm not sure exactly what lap that's going to put us at, but we're going to have some of those green flag pit stops.
And it pulls them in just a little bit earlier, as you see up here at the front. Cornette still trying to hound the 27 machine of Dalton as we look in third. Here's Randolph, Lewis in fourth, and Matta running fifth. Oh, we got a yellow.
That's not good.
73 machine down the bottom, Casabear. And they're wrecking here into turn one. Hard into the wall goes Mike Boone.
Oh, man. Well, let's put that in the Wayback Machine and see it. That was... Ooh, wow.
That looked like a little bit of contact between him and the 01 machine of Thiel.
Well, we've got the first yellow of the night, folks, at lap 20 of 125. Let's use the old Grid Vision Wayback Machine, our proprietary time machine that we use to go and see what happened. And let's go see what happened.
Hit. That's an apron hit right there. Just gets two tires under the white line. And, you know, like I mentioned earlier, it gets real unstable when you make those kind of transitions, especially when the car's load up mid-corner. You got Loose coming into three, gets down there on that apron. And away she goes. Now, my question is, though, I wonder if there's any contact. We saw some cars close. It looked like the 5 machine was on the back bumper through 3 and 4 there.
Feels like we were just talking about how smooth it can be in Chicagoland for those transitions, but that was just a bad angle on it.
And there's the incident after the yellow between the 5 machine and Corrales Thiel.
Very unfortunate that we had a little late hit action there. More cars than we needed to involved, but as we've got the previous leader, our pole position sitter, coming down and getting some getting a top up. I don't think that he took any gas on that.
Hey Joe.
Nope, everyone's getting gas. Yep.
You want to chuckle? Check the sponsor on the rear deck lid of the 01 machine of Thiel.
Oh, can do. I do love a good chuckle.
Meme. That car is a rolling meme. Oh, it's back.
Well, you know what?
The whole thing is pretty bad. It's funny, but it's bad.
Some folks, when you got MS Paint, they shouldn't be allowed to have it. Or they should be.
Have you seen what's on the sides?
No, I haven't. I gotta play with my cameras a little bit, but I can take a look. Oh wow, that's a hell of a slogan. That's a hell of a slogan.
Stephen Hawking Foundation picked up the sponsorships. Let's rein it back in here. Up at the front of the pack right now, Cornette takes the lead on pit road there from Dalton. Be really huge. We saw how fast that 88 machine was earlier.
Yeah, Cornette is someone that when we did the first start of the race, he was the first one to pop out and put it 3 wide. And I was wondering if he was going to be the guy sort of leading the outside line, but since then he's been, you know, kind of the opportunist, kind of finding the spot where he can work best over the course of the race and stick in there. And he has done a really good job so far, but he's definitely been racing more aggressively.
You got a whole lot of tire management at play here. You know, everybody's on different strategies, trying to make sure they're good when it counts.
That's a good point. It's a really good point. As the lights are off here on the pace car, and we're going to get started here very soon. There he goes. It's Dalton. It's Cornette here on the starting line, looking for the restart zone. There we are. We are green, 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 and it looks like Cornette doesn't quite find the skinny pedal as well as Dalton does. As we get things started here, Cornette's going to abandon the bottom line and fly up to the top.
Through 1 and 2, here comes Justin Lewis with a huge head of steam on the bottom of the track, trying to get by Dalton here on the backstretch. They're going to be dead even as we got another caution wrecking the back of the pack here. 2 cars going through the grass. 12 Machine is one of them, Sovereign.
Wow, we had just gotten things going. Well, maybe this is this is for the best. Get it out now, as opposed to, in a couple of laps. Once we think things are going to start up again, at least. Let's see what happened here. Was going for a 3-wide situation. Yep, the 12 just might have overdone it. Maybe a little dirty air on the nose of that car.
I think he may have just got a little free there, coming through 1 and 2. It's easy to grab just a little bit too much of the loud pedal through the first 2 corners on cold tires, and for the thing to just snap around on you. This next-gen car, we don't have the side force that we used to have. You see him, he's going to wash down the track here on corner exit. And there's the slide right there. And he gets a quick counter to try and save it. And then just, when he goes to do it, he tail whips himself into the other car, and through the grass they go.
Don't love to see that. Don't love to see that, but that is a situation. That is what happened. And now we get to see another restart here at Chicagoland. Got a few laps to go here, folks. Any changes or thoughts to your picks, go ahead and let us know here in the chat. I've enjoyed the interactivity so far that we've had going. Let's see what we've got there. We got WTB Chad says Bots is going to make it happen. And looks like Phil's Soul, if I'm reading that correct, says keep turning left. It's working. Let's go Hurst.
Well, I would hope that he wouldn't try turning right here. We've seen what happens when people turn right here at Chicago already, and it's not a pretty story.
Ugh, yeah. Yee. Does not turn out well for anyone involved. Well, what a pretty track, though, and a track that definitely is keeping some of these drivers on their toes. Deceptive with its smoothness at certain points, but definitely one where you're right. You can run a lot of lines here, and it's a wide amount of area to work with to really try to make those plays and make those moves.
You got a lot of options here. Some guys in real life too, especially, used to run real aggressive up against the top. Like Kyle Larson would come down the back straightaway and get right to the seam into turn 3 and just turn the car right up against the wall and just get, about a quarter of an inch off it, using the air pocket between the right rear quarter panel and the wall to just carry the car down the straightaway. And he was always, slow the first 10, 15 laps doing it. By the time you got to the end of the run, he was absolutely just blazing them down. Junior was also an early adopter to the outside line mentality here back in the early 2000s.
Oh. Well, it's something that we could see happening again here, as we do see a lot of people favoring that outside line. As the lights are off in the pace car, we're going to get going after this one. Right now we're in the back stretch looking for 3 and 4. It's going to be up at the front this time, Trevor Dalton and Justin Lewis, last week's winner in the number 7 car. Dalton has been putting on a hell of a race so far tonight. Lewis also. The two of them together are going to be a pretty fun-looking force to be reckoned with here at the front of this race pack. And there goes the pace car. We're looking for the Geico restart zone any second now. We're going to see it, folks. Get ready. Here we go. We are green yet again. And the 27 of Trevor Dalton takes off a little bit ahead of Justin Lewis, moves up the track, and starts to lead things off here into lap 27 of 125 at Chicagoland Speedway.
Dalton makes a good clean pass here for the lead through 1 and 2, holding it down the back straightaway. Lewis all over the back bumper, though, pushing him down into turn 3. Now Lewis going high up here into turns 3 and 4. Going to try and use that momentum to carry him down the front straightaway. He's going to get a huge run here, but is he going to be able to do anything with it? Not quite, but he's going to get up to the quarter panel ever so slightly. Not able to get the side draft on the 27 machine.
that side draft is a dangerous piece to hold on to, especially during the transition. We're not sure exactly how fast the person's going to make the transition in order to hold on to it, but he doesn't need it. Justin Lewis doesn't need it at all. He moves ahead of Trevor Dalton right now, just about a car length, now a full length. He can do it. Maybe he's going to close the door. Maybe he's not. At the moment, it doesn't look like it. Oh, the cars are very, very close. Wow.
Lewis is going to pull the side draft on him, though, through 3 and 4 and get down to the bottom. You saw how much that bottled the run that the 7 of Lewis had. Now, here comes Dalton all the way down to the bottom of the track here, trying to make something happen, but I don't think he's going to be able to do anything against the momentum that outside line carries this early in the run.
Yeah, he's driving, Lewis, is driving like it's the outside line all over the track, and it's paying off. He's staying up there on the turns, or at least for the most part. Ooh, that would be close. Staying up there on the turns. He's staying up there on the straightaways. He's just making that outside line work for him as best he can. Oh, not anymore.
And
he's
with a
slide
slider
behind the 27.
Oh, but he puts too much wheel in it. Round goes the 27 machine from the pack.
Whoa!
Net contact, 3 wide, bouncing off each other. All 3 of the leaders around here on the back straightaway. A huge crash.
Whoa! Did you see Cornette come in like a bat out of hell? I wonder what happened. Were the leaders both checking up at the same time? And is that what let Cornette just come flying up in there? He really came in screaming.
Well, the 7 machine looked like he got just a little bit free there.
Yeah, he put some air right behind Cornette, and that was the end of Cornette's traction.
You see Lewis, the 27 of Dalton gets loose here in front. Lewis lifts, and Cornette tries to take the momentum to get to the lead. And the hole that he was shooting for closed as quick as it opened, and just absolute calamity here on the back straightaway.
Wow. Oh, man. So many cars involved. Just about every other car on the track. I could barely keep track of who was who during that. Thank you for pointing that out. But yeah, let's have a look here on board with Dalton Randolph.
No, just nowhere he could have gone.
Nope. Not at all. And look at his wheel is all turned.
It's destroyed. That basically put the left front suspension in his lap as we run on board with Lewis here. You see him flip the throttle here in corner exit. That's what gives Cornette such a huge run. Unfortunately, probably a run Cornette shouldn't have taken, but if you don't go for a hole that's there, are you actually a race driver? As Senna so eloquently stated.
That's a good way to look at it. And here we are, Chris Cornette. Let's see what he saw.
He just thought that he could maybe work his way through it, but I mean, even at that point, with that car getting loose in front of him, on that view from his point of view, I don't think he would have been able to check up in time to avoid it anyway.
Yeah.
There's not really much Cornette could have done in that situation.
That was very risky. I mean, yeah, if he... I don't want to say like if he had waited, because I want to be able to commend the opportunism. I want to be able to commend the initiative to go out there and try to put the car where it wherever it fits. But at the same time, I wonder if maybe holding back a little bit might have been the move on that one.
I think a part of the problem too, though, is I don't think that he was able to see that the 27 machine of Dalton was getting loose in front of Lewis. If you're riding on, looking at from the roof camera, you can see a lot more. Looking at from, these cameras up in the sky, you can see everything. But from behind the wheel, you can't really see through that car in front of you. And by the time that he notices the 27 is loose and those two have broken off each other, he's so deeply committed to the corner exit that there's really nothing he can do to avoid getting into the back of the other car. Because with these next-gen cars, if you try to stab the brake or if you try to make a last-second jerk down to the bottom of the track to avoid it or up to the top, it's going to hook and it's going to pull you around, and you're probably going to do more damage doing that than to just keep your foot in it and brake.
Absolutely. And so that looks like what happened a little bit there as the pace car is getting ready to go off here. We're going into 3 and 4 of this last pace lap here. We are 1 to green. 1 to green, lap 33 of 125 here at Chicagoland. But we're going into 1 and 2. Excuse me. I got my laps wrong for a second.
At the front of the pack now, it's going to be the 27 machine of Dalton with Dominic Batts lined up here.
Dalton, a name we've seen up here a couple of times.
Yep, Dalton opting for the bottom lane here again. Remember, he was the one that got loose. That's going to be interesting to see if he maybe scuffed those tires a little bit more than he needed to.
Well, time will tell very quickly. We'll see if he's able to hold on to this position after things get a little bit heated up here as the pace car is off. And we're getting ready for the restart now. Dalton and Betts are looking good, and we're green yet again. Dalton out to the front with a pretty good start. Wrecking in the back.
Oh, they're wrecking again.
Woo! Sounds like there might have been a misshift in the pack there. That's what the word is. Joshua is saying that he might have misshifted there.
Yeah, Josh Stout saying that he maybe missed a shift on the start.
That's all right. You know what? That's the way it goes sometimes.
See, the 7 machine tries to get down to the bottom there and just gets into the 87 machine and unfortunately hooks the 87 around into the grass. But watching it back, though, from Josh Stout's onboard, it sounds and looks like he did maybe money shift from 3rd down to 2nd.
Well, let's get one more view on it here.
This is 7 Lucis. Tries to go around the outside, trying to make up spots early, you know. Everybody's aggressive once they get sent to the back here on these restarts, and just looked like the 87 wasn't prepared for the 7 to be up there to the top. They kind of ran out of room, and around goes the 87 machine. As we are 36 laps into this thing right now, we're going to send off to a quick word from our sponsors, and we'll be back to bring you more of the racing action here on the grid.
Proudly offer top-tier liveries that showcase your unique style on the racetrack. Elevate your iRacing experience today with a stunning custom design that truly represents who you are and your passion for racing.
Hey folks, we're back. Welcome back to Grid Vision with the J&M Group Monday Night Series. We are at Chicagoland Speedway, and right now Trevor Dalton and Dominic Batts are going to get things started again as we get things started again with this restart here. Let's see with the pace car off. Now Dalton and Batts looking for the green flag. There we go. Dalton off, looking pretty good as the two columns struggle to keep up a little bit. Let's see if they can get around a whole lap here. Get it going.
Yeah, we've ended up in a caution scenario here the last couple goes around, but everybody getting through the gears pretty clean here this last time. Down the back straightaway, Trevor Dalton with the advantage. A little bit of side-by-side action, though, for second place. Bats with the 57 machine of Nelson down to his bottom here through 3 and 4. Nelson is going to make the turn on the low line here.
Oh,
the spot up.
I reckon.
And the 81 machine. And hard in the wall goes Cornette.
Oof. Big oof. What an unfortunate situation. Still here on lap 39 right now of 125. We're going to get another yellow situation. Let's take a look and see what happened.
The bumps. He got the bumps.
He did.
Hit those bumps in the top of 3 and 4. And, you know, with the old car, you could have made that work. You'd have been fine. Probably didn't even notice it. But with this next-gen car, as stiff as the suspension is and as little travel as you have from the bottom of the car to the racing surface, once you hit that, it's going to bottom out on that rear diffuser, on those rough stops. It's going to send that thing around. You see right there, it just gets unsteady. And once it bounces like that, there is no saving it. One car hit him in the door a ton. To the 21 machine, hard into the outside fence as well. That is Drew Kuhn.
Some names we've heard tonight and some names we haven't involved in that one.
He's about to snap, crackle, pop right about here.
There it is. And wall. Oh, not quite.
He hit the nose very hard against that outside fence.
Oh, yeah. Hey, here we go on pit road. We're watching a few cars pop off here. Making the race to the end of pit road and trying to get back out on the track. We got the 21, the 8. Also still in there, though. Our former race leader.
A few of those front runners that we had really high hopes for tonight, just all kind of falling on bad luck here. Right now, the most consistent force up at the front of the pack is that 27 machine of Dalton. You know, he's been up here since the early stages, and with the best of his competition looking like they've kind of deleted themselves from the mix, this could very well be Dalton's race to lose.
That's a good way to put it. As we got yet another person cheering for Ronnie Hurst in the chat here. Thanks again, folks, for participating. I'm sure that he appreciates all the support. As our old Ronnie is sitting down 8 positions from where he started, but he still is sitting. He still is behind the wheel. He still is driving in the right direction. So we'll see. Anything can happen.
Well, I think we figured out who the most popular driver of the league is for sure.
So far, based on if our chat is anything to base it on, then yes, Ronnie Hurst is definitely one of the top 10 drivers for popularity. Now let's see, with the lights off on the pace car, we're going to get things going again very soon here. We're up to lap 41 now on the lead cars. Here we go. Pace car is in. We're looking for it. Green, green, green. We are go, go, go.
Another really good start here for Trevor Dalton. As you look at James Nelson working the inside line, trying to get past Michael Mata through 1 and 2. Here comes Mata searching back with a huge head of steam on the outside line, though. And he's going to set it down the back straightaway about a ½ inch off the wall and get the run and clear that 57 machine down into turn 3.
Very, very strange lines here for a few of these cars. Are going very wide on these turns.
And Nelson tried to send it around the outside through 3 and 4. He hit the same bumps that we saw, the last caution, and shot the car all the way up against the fence, tags the wall a little bit, loses a bunch of momentum down this front straightaway. Going to take him a little bit to get back into the good graces here as we work through 1 and 2. And a huge run for Randolph down the back straightaway. It's going to put him in second place.
Dalton Randolph looking solid there. And then that second place has got a pretty good gap to first, about a half second. But that's something that it can be and might just be getting run down here as Dalton Randolph slowly chips away at the lead that Trevor Dalton's given him.
Oh, up into the fence. Yarborough, a huge chunk of that outside wall coming out of turn 2.
Not pretty. No wreck, though. No yellow.
And the first guy to have issues all night, the 25 machine of Jacob Zala, moving himself up into the 5th spot here. All over the back bumper. The 4th spot. All the way up to the back bumper. Your 3rd place runner, Michael Matta, into 1 and 2. Great recovery drive out of him so far.
Yeah, no kidding. Matta, the front of his car caved in. Still driving very, very well. Down goes Joshua Yarborough, I think. No, that's Jacob Zala. I keep misidentifying Jacob Zala's car. I'm very sorry about that tonight. I don't know what it is about it, but that Bird Dog car, I just can't quite get an eye on it.
Right now, Matt is running into trouble. You see where that front end damage is really starting to hurt him. Here comes the 77 machine of Yarborough around the outside. He's getting split 3 down the middle as the 58 machine of Adam Lowe takes a spot. 2 for 1 special, and unfortunately, Matt is going to be the losing end of the deal. So we got 1 car around at the back of the field. It's the 22 machine of Hurst. We are still under green, though, as Randolph's trying to close in the advantage to Dalton, and Zala trying to close in the advantage to both of them here into turn 1.
Everybody a little bit wide, a little bit spread out here at the front of the pack. Dalton Randolph, Trevor Dalton, the two of them very far ahead of the rest of the group here, just working with each other's energy as opposed to giving a thought about anything that Jacob Zala might be doing or Joshua Yarborough behind him.
Oh, we got 2 cars around. Thiel down through the grass. We're still under green. Both cars keep it straight for the most part, but Thiel and Lewis get together through 3 and 4.
Oh, no. Well,
look at the replay here.
That'll cost
these guys just running each other tight here. You see Thiel get over the bumps. Oh, no, I think the 7 machine of Lewis actually got over the bumps, lost a lot of momentum through 3 and 4, and Thiel just not able to slow down in time. Once he got to the back bumper, a little bit of contact sends him through the grass. Well, I can tell you, I hate to break it to everybody, but I think when we come back here next year, NASCAR's probably going to have that repaved. Because if it's that bad here on iRacing, I can tell you they're probably going to take all the fun out of the track by the time we come back to this place.
Well, if they're interviewing iRacers as part of how to fix the track, I don't know. We'll see. But the bumps, the bumps add some personality.
Yeah, you should. But you know, they did the worst half pave ever at Iowa a couple years ago because the bottom lane was bumpy, and they did the same thing at Darlington because this car can't drive over bumps without getting loose.
That feels very accurate. And I've only driven it a handful of times.
Don't get me wrong, I love driving this car. But there's a lot of things about it that I wish were different, but I have no control over that. I just hold the wheel and shut up when I need to.
Well, that might be the way, my man. That might be the way of the ninja, the way to do it.
Right now, one guy that's starting to come back to these guys up at the front of the pack, that 27 machine of Dalton. 2/10 slower than Dalton Randolph that last time by, and about 3/10 slower than Jacob Zala sitting in 3rd place. And there's the distance now. You look out right off the rear deck lid of Dalton, and that 26 machine of Randolph is all over him coming through 1 and 2.
Yes, sir. Doesn't want to give up.
And Zala, that advantage was about 1.5 seconds, now snapped down to just 0.8 of a second as we got a battle for the lead starting to shape up here. Down the front straightaway, you see them both using the flat, trying to shorten this track as much as possible. Randolph going to get a little bit lower and towards the grass. Now he's going to send up way up the hill through 1 and 2 to try and find the momentum to get past the 27 machine. And it's going to be a huge run down this back straightaway. As you see Dalton had to pedal it coming out of 1 and 2 there a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. He gave it, but it wasn't quite enough to make it. Let's see. Can he do it, though? I think they're still side by side, right? Yeah.
Now he's trying to keep that momentum up. As we look at the battle for 5th, starting to heat up. See Lowe send it down to the bottom, and we got another caution out.
Wonder what caused this one. Let's have a look.
Like Lewis, it's down there on the bottom of the track. Everything looks good. Hey, you know what? It doesn't look good anymore.
Bumps. Yeah.
It wasn't so much the bumps, just the transition. These cars look like they're on the ragged edge here this week, and once you send it down there on that bottom, once those tires start to burn off, you can do it, the first handful of laps. But if you're aggressive on those tires, once that right rear tire starts to build heat, put down there on that flat, take all the load out of the car, and it's going to go the direction it wants to go.
Yeah, it's going to do what it wants. It's going to do what it wants to do. Physics is going to have words to say.
And difficult break for the 5 machine of Mike Boone, who I know was just jonesing to get caught up in another incident here this evening. Nothing he could have done when that 7 machine came back up the track in front of him.
Back to live as we see everybody coming down pit road now. This is the time.
55 laps in, going to get a little bit more gas in these next-gen Cup cars and throwing 4 fresh tires, because I can tell you they were hurting there at the end of that run.
All right. Everybody lined up. Wish we could hear the cockpit radio for some of these guys, see what they're listening to. Do you listen to music while you drive, Sheldon?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I put on a little bit of everything. It really depends on my mood in the moment.
For me, it's typically vintage metal and rock. For the tracks where I really need to rein it in and just stay calm, though, it's Sleep Token. And plenty of Machine Head, too.
Yes.
And Mastodon. Lots of Mastodon.
All good choices.
Rest in peace, Brett Hines.
Mm-hmm. Well, that got me. I didn't mean to end on such a sentimental note, but yes, rest in peace, and good choices on the music. I do a lot of yacht rock, which is kind of the opposite of that.
You strike me as the yacht rock kind of fella. Just sitting there,
Yeah.
running Daytona with Genesis on full blast and
Steely
a
Dan.
little bit of Bob Seger, some Steely Dan.
Yep. Christopher Cross.
John Denver. Everybody out there.
Hell yeah.
Everybody's out there cussing each other, and you're just, singing about Mountain Mamas.
Put on something like "Running on Empty," "Running Wild." Yeah, good stuff.
I made the mistake letting my Spotify autoplay everything that I listen to.
Oh, no.
It was, I want to say it was at Martinsville one year, and I'm just sitting there listening to Jim Croce, trying not to fall asleep.
Oh, man. That would, yeah.
Because we were under caution like every 15 seconds, and all of a sudden Time in a Bottle comes on. I'm like, man, I'm about to pass out. Don't do this to me.
That's wow, a jump from Cracklin' Rosie to Infinite Annihilator. That is a huge jump.
Yeah.
As we get ready to get things started again here, the lights are off on the pace car. Lap 57 of 125 here. Pace car is in. We're looking for the green flag for Curtis Sauberin and Trevor Dalton to lead things off here.
Sauberin with a really good jump here on the restart. Going to clear the 27 machine of Dalton down in 1 and 2 and leave him side by side with Randolph. And here comes Randolph with a huge run on the inside line and a whole head of steam. And is he going to be able to clear it on the back straightaway? Not quite. Here comes Sauberin with a huge run on the top himself.
very strong moves here. Some moves from the middle of the pack here. Adam Lowe making a move, trying to make some passes happen. Up at the front, Dalton Randolph is side by side with Curtis Sauberin. Nope. Sauberin's going to fall back into second place there. Hold on to that. As in third, Jacob Zala looking to make the pass here. He might get it because it looks like, yeah, he went up to the wall there. Zala is able to make the pass.
And it looks like the Red Bull did not give Sauberin wings as he tags the fence through 1 and 2, opening the door for Sala to move up to second place. And here's the question, because Sala was so fast at the end of that last run, what's he going to do here now that he actually has track position, doesn't have to carve through the field? The 25 machine seems like it's definitely pointed in one direction, and that's towards the front. As we got one car in the grass, the 8 machine with a huge slide through the infield grass. Going to lose a whole bunch of time here, but no caution on the Speedway.
No caution, not yet. You know, we've seen some cautions out tonight, obviously, for various reasons, but that one didn't happen.
And a little bit of 3 wide tapered there for a second with the 2 machine in the middle. Everybody going to clear themselves up here, though. Just get a look at the replay at what happened to the 8 machine here. It's 3 and 4, and it's the same thing, man. Gets over them bumps in the center. And it's just enough to pull them around. And that could have been a lot worse for him, because you saw that car heading straight towards that pit road entry. If he just slid down pit road like that, he would have been on pit road for about 1 minute and 15 seconds, serving a unsafe entrance as well as a speeding penalty.
Nothing to do then but to enjoy a Slurpee.
Plenty of time to enjoy a Slurpee.
Oh, man, that would be fun. Actually, you know what's really fun? We're about halfway through tonight's race. Not bad.
No, absolutely not. Bit of a rocky start here, but it's just more so track conditions than it is drivers. With those bumps really reaching out and grabbing a lot of these guys by surprise, it's not much these drivers can do to counteract that, aside from just not go there, but you don't know what you don't know. And if it hasn't happened to you yet, you assume it just doesn't happen, period.
And we got 2 wide situations still brewing here. We're looking at Smith right now. Benjamin Smith side by side with the 58 of Adam Lowe. Lowe high on the outside. Can he make the pass? No, not quite. Smith's going to make the punch. He's got him by half a car length. And up at the top, the 58 is really struggling hard.
You saw right there, too. You saw the 58 machine working the outside line. This is a trouble line that we've seen all race long here through 3 and 4. As you see Smith trying to line something up on the bottom, not going to work. The car sliding up now, and Lowe's going to take the position down the back straightaway. But you saw Lowe go over those bumps. You saw how much he just threw that car around. And, he was just able to skate it through there. You know, it's just situational. Hitting that as we got one car hard into the fence on the front straightaway. Looks like the 21 machine of Drew Kuhn tags the fence out of turn 4, now trying to throw a block on the 10 of Bass. His Bat sends it down to the bottom of the track here to try and clear him. And a bit of a slider. Is it going to work? Yes, it does. Slide job in full effect here at Chicagoland, as Bass is going to take away the spot from Kuhn.
All right, and looking here. Trying to see through the pack where the action is at to call for you folks to let you know, but there's a lot of it going on.
It's got to be at the lead here. Sala has closed in this gap that Randolph built here on this latest restart, but it's not easy for him, though, because he's got a mirror full of Trevor Dalton, the guy that's had the most laps here today. As Dalton tees it off and sends it down to the bottom into 3. And the 25 machine going to throw a little bit of a pinch. Dalton's going to get a little loose. Big slide on the 27 machine. He's going to pellet up the hill. And here comes Sala holding on to second place with a huge head of steam trying to get to the back of the 26. And this is an OCD person's worst nightmare as we look at the top 3.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, wow, 26. 26, 25, 27. Yeah.
That's exactly how our buddy Nick Stein used to count up here in the booth.
Stein math. Oh, man. Yeah. Let's be nice. But it sounds like if anything was perfect in this world, they would be having them in the order of 25, 26, 27. But right now, we don't get that.
And Sala does a huge block on Dalton there out of turn 2. I think Dalton's a little bit better than Sala right now. But Sala's just trying to bide his time to get to the back bumper of the 26 machine. As you see Randolph blink out there for a second at the start finish.
Blinking's not going to go a long way here. We've seen disconnects. We've seen a little bit already, but let's not get anybody kicked for packet loss here.
And up to the top of the track there, you see Dalton trying different motives now to try and get by the 25 machine, trying to get clean air to the nose of that 27 Camry. And he's going to get a huge head of steam down here in the front straight. He's going to cut it down to the bottom to try and catch the 25 sleeping. But Sala doing a good job being defensive here through 1 and 2. Sala now up on the top of the track, and he's going to get a huge surge of momentum and clear that 27. He pinches him down to the bottom, and it's going to take all the momentum out from Dalton. He's going to have to get back to work here to try and build it back up.
Zala, what a run. He was sitting back there as if to just say, here's where I am, here's where I am. And the moment he saw another horse out the corner of his eye, he said, okay, I'm not going to be here anymore. I'm way faster than this. And just took off.
Sala's going to do everything he can to try and keep this spot shored up. He wants to have a stab at the lead. He sees the clean air right off his nose. He has to figure out how to get to it. As the 27 machine of Dalton tags the wall at a turn 2. That's going to be a costly mistake for him, but we got another caution on the track. We got one car around through the grass of the Red Bull machine, the 12. Sovereign.
Oof.
And there's a lot of damage on the right front. There was definitely contact somewhere in the mix. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, let's see.
Look at the top line here in front of the 77 machine. It just snaps on him. I'll tell you what, these guys are definitely trying everything they have. You know, a lot of times we talk about, you know, cautions, people driving over their head. And here at Chicago, with just as unique a track surfaces as is, and this is something that, you know, next gen doesn't really come to, so the fixed setup's definitely not ready for it. And honestly, this car just a little too technologically advanced for a racing surface this beat up. It's throwing these drivers a curveball that they're not used to.
Well, you know, those curveballs are what keep things interesting, my friend. So keeps us doing our jobs. As it looks like most of the field right now is coming down again to get topped up on gas.
And you see the 26 machine of Randolph leading them down pit road. Yarborough scored your race leader right now because he stayed out.
And the pits have begun and ended. For some people, Trevor Dalton's pit has already started and stopped. It was a very fast pit time.
I'm not sure how many sets of tires we have, but I think a lot of people opted to just fuel. Well, yeah, we've got 3 sets of tires here tonight, so this guy's trying not to burn them here.
Yeah.
It's going to make for a real interesting restart because you're going to have a lot of guys on mixed stuff here throughout the board.
Yeah, I don't have the time to go through and figure out who's who.
Yarborough with a smart move, though, is staying out here and shoring up some traffic and some track position. Going to get a couple of laps led here to help with the points fight.
That's right. And folks, before we get things going again, before we go back to that 1 to green, I do want to talk a little bit about our sponsor, J&M Group. Now, J&M Group's Industrial Services is one of Michigan's premier CNC machine tool service providers. They offer routine maintenance, preventative maintenance, geometry, calibration, machine relocation, and more. So with over 80 years of hands-on experience, state-of-the-art equipment, and quick turnaround times, J&M Group Industrial Services is the best in the biz. Be sure to check out jmgrp.net for more information about J&M Group Industrial Services. Wish I had a CNC machine. I'd machine stuff all day.
I think that is the male dream.
Kind of feels like it now, right?
I think all of us want one.
It used to be a boat. You know?
That'd be building guitars out of them.
Yeah. Now it's yeah. Now it's a CNC machine.
Up the front of the pack now. It is going to be Lowe and Yarbrough. Lowe opting to take the inside line here. Yarbrough taking the top in the 77 machine. Behind them, everybody else.
Hey, there it is. We are green yet again here on Grid Vision. Getting started. Lap 75 now out of 125. A cool 50 to go.
And down to the bottom of the track, here's the 7 machine of Lewis back to the front already. Going to take the lead through 1 and 2 with ease over Yarbrough. Going to send up to the top of the track here, down the back straightaway. And basically a single file train up here at the front with everybody else running side by side throughout. Making moves now to try and get himself back up to the second spot. The 25 machine of Zala down to the inside of Lowe here on the front straightaway.
That second group here, that second set of cars, they've been really freaking me out with their second line antics so far, because that's where a lot of the yellows have come from, is when cars have been splitting up and trying to go 2, 3 wide and holding it for even a little while. It's just caused so much trouble here at Chicagoland.
Yeah, it's just, this track surface really catching these guys by surprise. You see the outside line working for Yarbrough, trying to hold off Zala here for second place, but Zala goes with a side draft coming into turn 1, sends it down to the bottom of the hill, trying to pull a slider on him, but not able to get the momentum to do it. Yarbrough doing a great job at center speed, but there it is, a huge slide job and a last-second block up to the fence. He's going to take the spot for Zala, move him up to P2. Yarbrough trying to hold on here. But he's definitely at the front of the log jam. Another guy we haven't mentioned much, moving himself up into the 5th position, is going to be Caldwell in the 94 machine. Ran so good last week, now he's up here into the closing stages.
That's right. Maxwell Caldwell looked really good last week. Back up in 5th here now after over half the race is complete. Good to have him within stone's throw of the podium position. Trevor Dalton also doing pretty good, up 1 from where he started. He's still in the top 10. Reckon, though, maybe on the field. Benjamin Smith here into the grass, yeah.
Hard contact to the left front. You see the fender bouncing off of the car. That's probably going to be a day ender for him. As we got 3 wide into turn 1. I don't know how well this is going to work out. You see Corrales Steele all the way up at the top of the track. Michael Matta down to the bottom. The 57 machine opting to back out of it here. Now he's falling into the clutches of the 2 down into 3 and 4.
Moving on, we're still 2 by 2. Yep.
Trying to find the momentum. A little bit of right front damage still, though, on the 01 machine. Definitely not helping his chances here from Chicagoland.
Oof, not at all. Here, though, the 88. Now, side by side with the Corn Pop 16 of Drew Coons. Chris Cornett and Coons side by side fighting it out. Coons trying to make the pass, but Cornett's got some pretty good speed down there on the inside line now. And he's going to make the pass with almost a car length of gap between them.
Oh, a couple cars in the wall in front of them. The 26 machine tags the fence out of turn 4, and around goes the 27 on the front straightaway. Almost saves it. All the way down to the flat of the track. Oh, no contact. And still saves it again. But that's been the most dominant car of the evening, the 27 machine of Dalton. Heavy contact. Luckily, both him and the 16 machine of Matta going to walk away clean, but a huge loss in track position. Good look at Benjamin Smith's slide here.
Let's take a look here. Number 11. Whoa, yeah.
Loose out of 2.
Wow. Very hard slam.
It's a hard impact to the service access part of the wall there. Right now, Zala starting to reel in Lewis again, but he's got a couple cars closing up on him. Lowe's getting a good head of steam here and tugging up to the back bumper here on the front straightaway. right on board with Cornette. And remember, we saw so much pace out of that 88 Chevrolet to start this thing off. And this race has definitely been one where you don't want to lead or be up at the front, it seems, because that's where the most mistakes have been coming from.
Yeah.
No, getting Cornette around, hard contact.
Whoa! I was about to try to say something insightful.
And Yarborough just doesn't even know what just happened to him in the 77 machine.
Oh, the beautiful Itasha anime car. All scratched up. Oh, it was looking
And
so
that
good, too.
Right rear toe link completely knocked out on the 77 machine after that impact.
Oof. Let's watch this here as the 88 becomes a ballistic missile.
Gets down on the bottom, car gets loose, tries to counter steer it, and as soon as he counter steers, that left rear tire hooks into the track and shoots him right up the hill. It's the problem with the independent suspension on these next-gen cars. Once you point the wheel in one direction, the old car get loose like that on the solid axle, you can counter it. You could drive the thing sideways if you want to. This car, once that other end of the car loads up, it shoots you straight in that direction before you can even think.
That's terrifying. Well, what a margin for error, or what a lack of one, I should say. That was such a massive hit on both of those cars.
Yeah, it's about as hard as you can hit. It's such a rough race for Cornette. Every time he gets up into the spot, into the frame where I start talking about him, just something comes back and bites him. Merkel, your race leader now. Zala in second place over Caldwell, Lowe, and Thiel.
Looks like we've got some more comments up there. Watching Ronnie from Kentucky. Don't underestimate my bro. And come on, guys. I-pacing instead of I-racing. We've still got a little bit of racing. We're still got a little ways to go, folks. About 15 laps before we break into the triple digits, and then we've got that last 25 lap stretch to the end here. These guys have been fueling up every time we've had a yellow flag and trying to keep their cars in one piece. Let's talk a little bit about Ronnie Hurst, who's been able to hold on to his positions so far tonight and avoid any of the bigger things going on slowly, bit by bit, working his way up the ladder. Mr. Hurst now is sitting somewhere between 6th and 7th position. Drew Coons also there up in 5th. Maxwell Caldwell in 3rd right now. Adam Lowe in 4th. Really a good set of names to mix it up here up at the front of the field. We are 1 to green now. The lights are off in the pace car. We're on the back stretch, so it'll be just a few moments now when we're ready to get things going, folks. Make sure to stretch those bodies, refill that water, and drink it if you haven't had some water yet today. Be sure to stay hydrated and enjoy this race here from Chicagoland Speedway on the J&M Group Monday Night Cup Series. Live on Grid Vision. More shout-outs here. Go Todd. Folks saying that, whoa, we got our producer saying that bump is tough. That's right. It's looking pretty good tonight. Go Todd Merkel is what we're hearing. Here's the green flag, and pretty soon Todd Merkel will be taking things away as he's leading things with Maxwell Caldwell right behind him. Maxwell Caldwell falls back a little bit, looks for the inside line. Up on the outside, there's Jacob Zala. Zala uses that outside space, tries to make a clean pass. Doesn't have the distance right now to do it, though. The 25 fighting the 94, looking for relevance. There he goes. Clearance. He's got it. Enough clearance to close if he wants to, but he doesn't. He wants to stay up there in that middle groove. He wants to use the line that he knows best, and he wants to challenge Todd Merkel for his first place spot. Coming around to the back, looking at the rest of the pack. We've got a 3 wide situation. Lewis, Nelson, and Matta briefly all side by side there. More names involved that are falling back a little ways. Names we didn't expect to see fall back. Chris Cornett in 12th right now, falling back 4 positions from where he started tonight's race. Maybe he's playing it cool. We got a pass now for the lead, though, coming up here. Merkel in the lead, but it looks like Zala wants it. He's got it by a nose. They're side by side now. Coming around in the back. Oh, he got to spin the lead. Zala just spun the number 2 car, Todd Merkel, for the lead. Well, that's not very sportsmanlike. Wow. Let's see this. The first thing we'll see is we're going to watch the spin shakeup here on Nathan Sylvia when he went down into the grass. Just grab a little grass there. And side by side, that's Todd Merkel. Just gets spun.
But right on board
Kinda.
here to see what happens. Can't tell if somebody turned right or somebody turned left when they shouldn't have. It was close racing up here at the front of the pack.
I think somebody turned right when they shouldn't have accidentally. Oh, okay,
To me,
fair
like
enough.
Merkel may have just turned down a little bit. You know, you get up on that wall, and you see how close he is to the fence, probably thinking,
No, he doesn't touch it. He doesn't touch left at all.
well, let's see what
This could
happens
be
here. Let's see Zala's on board. Because I don't think that anybody would want to intentionally spin somebody. I know Zala wouldn't want to take the EOL when he's going for the lead here.
I wouldn't think
Coming
so
off
either.
You see him, a little bit of bite in the wheel there. I think it's just one of them deals where you come up off the corner, you're a little bit misaligned. You know, when you run close like
Yeah.
that, that's a risk that you run. I don't think it was an intentional hit. Definitely an unfortunate turn of events for both of these drivers, especially for the 2 machine, who was just up there leading, and next thing he knows, he's around.
That I'll give you. I don't think it was intentional either. I don't think Zala. It looked to me like he got up into him. Then we watch it from a couple different angles, and I gotta say, throw my hands up and say, all right. It's very unlikely there that he made the right turn and tried to get up into him, but there was not a lot of room for error that either of them were really playing with, and I'm not sure. My instinct was just to put that more at Zala's feet for giving him the squeeze more than at Merkel's feet for trying to hold on to his position.
But if he doesn't give him the squeeze at the same time, though, he doesn't get up there and use as much of the track surface as he can. He bottles the momentum of that car down the straightaway, and he'll never be able to pass that way.
Yeah,
you
you're
gotta,
right.
You got to run close, and unfortunately, racing can be a contact sport, whether you want to or not. And that's on both sides of the fence.
You're right. You're absolutely right. When you're right, my friend. In this case, Rubbin's racing, and that seems to be what happened here a little bit. Robert Duvall would be happy. Not happy, but he would be understanding. As we come around through 1 and 2 now on the last lap before green, 1 to green. Here at lap 92 officially out of 125 here at Chicagoland.
And about to hit that 30 to go window. We've seen chaos all race long, and I got a feeling that we got plenty more in store as we get into the closing laps. A lot of fast cars mired in the back of this field now, because it's basically everybody that's been dominant or looked like they had a shot at it here today has found themselves into trouble.
Just about almost anybody who's gotten into the lead has suffered at some point. You either end up falling way back, like Andrew Pileshi. You get absolutely destroyed, like Todd Merkel. Something's going to happen to you if you lead this race. Now let's see what happens as the pace car is getting ready to come off here, and Adam Lowe and Justin Lewis will be leading things off here at Chicagoland. Looking for it now. Where's the green flag? There it is, and we are green yet again at the J&M Group Monday Night Cup Series.
We're talking about the chaos, though. Look at the opportunity for some of these guys. Sitting there in 4th place right now, Eric Johnson, the 8 machine. We saw him sliding through the grass about, 15, 20 laps ago? Up at the front of the pack, though, Justin Lewis with the advantage. Up into the fence goes Adam Lowe out of turn 2. And 3 wide down the back straightaway with the 71 machine of Litweiler. taking an opportunistic look into turn 3 and making it stick somehow. And it is a hound of cars.
Almost 4 wide now. Almost 4 wide. Back a little ways here with Michael Matta leading this pack. Michael Matta on the outside. Drew Coons. Coons in the 21. Just about getting flushed down the center of this line of cars. Unfortunate for the 21 here. The Cinnamon Toast Crunch car of Drew Coons. Not going to be able to make it out of this line. He's going to have to find a place behind all 4 of them as time goes on here.
And look at this, Eric Johnson taking a look down to the inside for 3rd on Nelson, and a great run down on the flat of the track. Might be able to clear him into turn 1, just about. Maybe going for the slide job, not going to make it work though, as you see Nelson sending it around that outside line. And they're still 3 wide, just about bouncing off each other down the back straightaway. Yes, they are. This is only going in one way, and I think it's going to be tears. Because Matt and Phil had a couple run-ins today.
Ugh, yeah, someone's gonna get into it. There's gonna be hurt feelings, my friend. Hurt feelings. Let's hope they're not too hurt. Here as we've got the number 7 out in front, Justin Lewis with Adam Lowe right behind him. And behind that, James Nelson looking good with the double stripe 57. Here we go around.
22 machine, the 94 hardening the wall. Matta catches it as well. And Cornette, another hard impact on the front of that car up against the outside fence.
Oh, man.
What happens here is we watch Cornette trying to work his way out of 2. He sees Zala with a huge run. And a little bit of contact between him and the 22 machine. Shoots the 22 down into the right rear quarter pound of the 88 of Cornette. And a huge mess on the back straightaway.
Get that from another angle here. Watch that 88 car closely here. Ooh.
I think the 22 came down.
Yep, 22 hits him.
22 just comes down over the nose a little bit, and like I said, you know, it's just another one of them deals where you kind of don't realize where the nose of that car is pointing, and it comes to bite you pretty quick. So you're right on board with Ronnie Hurst, looking up here on the outside line. He's a little nervous at that wall, tries to come down a little bit, and when he tries to come down that little bit, he doesn't know that Sala is right there on that quarter panel, and there's no room. There's just sadly no room.
And here comes the pit stops.
And we got guys taking tires now, so this is going to definitely throw everybody a little bit of curveball. So we got cars staying out here, guys on older stuff, some guys coming down taking 4 freshies.
I think that's the way to do it. Come down, take 4, and try to ride it out. Try to make those 4 last for the last 30 laps of this race.
Of course, you know, we've had a lot of incidents here this race, more than we've had the past 2 weeks out of this series, but promise you, this I don't want to pin any of this on the drivers. I feel like this is just the racing surface itself, and this next-gen car, they just don't flush well together. And once you get competitive and you start trying to get that extra 2 to 3%, you're going to overstep some boundaries that you weren't trying to overstep.
All right, all right, all right. 98 of 125. The lights are still on the pace car, but I think we're going to be going green here very soon. Yep, there we go. The lights are off. We got 1 lap to go. Everyone's forming up here. And very soon, we will have the J&M Group Monday Night Cup Series underway yet again. Who's out in the lead right now? We're looking for Justin Lewis and Jacob Zala.
These two opting to stay out after the last caution. And race falling itself into the clutches of Lewis now, but don't look, you don't have to look too hard to see the guy that's led the most laps on the evening. Sitting there in 3rd place right behind him, the 27 machine of Dalton. He's back up at the front here, and he's recovered, and maybe he's going to have an opportunity to strike, but you also got to keep your eyes on these guys that took tires on this last stop, because we're definitely at that window where grip is going to matter the most.
All right, any second now, any second. We're looking for that pace car to pop off here and for the race to kick back off. Folks, get on the edge of your seats. Get ready, because here we go. We are green yet again. And Justin Lewis takes off, leaving the pack behind.
Big checkup on that outside line. The 12 machine of Curtis Sovereign doesn't get going. They're going to break up some of those cars at the back, but up at the front, side by side out of turn 2. Dalton and Zala going at it. A little bit of contact down the back straightaway. And 3, here comes Dalton with a huge head of steam on the bottom, but Zala trying to keep him pinned up on that bottom lane to take away the momentum. We saw this work for him earlier. All the way down to the flat goes the 27 machine of Dalton. And Zala has the run down into 1, but Dalton not giving up, gets down to the quarter pound, takes a little bit of air off the spoiler now. Dalton slides up the hill a little bit, opening the door for the car behind.
He makes it look so smooth, Dalton. He's just been doing this all night long. Really fantastic driving out of Trevor Dalton, holding on to this situation, even despite being involved in some of the goings-on. Really good driving, and he's still on the podium as of right now.
Zala right now going to take the advantage, taking over second spot. Now trying to get to the back bumper of the 7 machine up the hill through 1 and 2. And here comes a huge run from Dalton, but not able to get to connect to the rear bumper or the spoiler to get past the 25 machine. 25 machine going to hang on for now. Definitely was a good corner for him. And Justin Lewis is up there at the front praying that these guys start racing each other harder.
Let's see what happens if they do, because if so, that's going to slow them down and give opportunities to everybody behind them. I love when that happens.
I see the 27 machine trying to make the outside line work through 1 and 2. Zala trying to take the air off the nose, though, blocking up here in second place. And you see Dalton's doing a great job of driving where the 25 machine is not, trying to get that clean air to the nose of that Camry. And it's working for him. So he got a huge run through 3 and 4 that last go. See what he does down to 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it, too. He was driving where he is not. He doesn't want to get caught up. He wants to be outside of that dirty air and get the clean air. It's going to give him the momentum he needs to stay competitive and close at the same time. And those are the two things that do have to go together in a situation like this.
We look right now at the battle around 10th place. 21 machine Drew Kuhn trying to get past Cornette. Cornette, though, huge head of steam on the outside lane. Cornette going to take over the 10th spot with ease here on the front straightaway. Now looking down to the bottom for 9th.
Up there, high on the outside. Jacob Zala almost with the date with the outside wall again. He's very, very close with that outside line. He used it to the best of his advantage, and he still is challenging our leaders for overall lead in tonight's race.
And Cornette going to take over the 9th spot now. Big move for him now. He's got clean air. He's going to be able to get up to these this breakaway in front of him to try and get back into this top 5 as we close down here. Just 20 laps remaining from Chicagoland.
Oh,
also,
20 laps.
Where's the next heartbreak going to stem from, too?
That's a good question. So far, though, this has been a hell of a race. I've been really enjoying it.
Dalton tags the fence hard out of turn 4 there.
Yikes.
And here comes
See how much that ends up
Johnson.
costing him.
Johnson working the outside line right now. The Slurpee machine looking like it's coming alive here in the closing laps.
It had a little bit of trouble earlier, so hopefully it doesn't have too much trouble now.
Oh, big wiggle and around he goes. The 21 machine. Drew Kuhn, hard spin through the grass. It's not going to bring out a caution, though, as long as he keeps it down there in the green.
Yeah, wow, he flew down to the inside. A lot of green down there to use as real estate.
And we got a yellow.
Oh. Did he try to cause the caution?
Let's see what happens here.
He just drive up onto the track halfway.
See him sliding down there through the grass. Gets to the throttle, got grass on the tires, and around it goes. I honestly don't know why it pulled a yellow for that, though, because there wasn't a car near him for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, because these are the leaders.
Weird.
They're just coming out of turn 4. They're not in proximity. Maybe did we have somebody else go around?
It might have been. Yeah, it might have been a little closer than we realized.
This is definitely something that the guys up at the front of the pack did not want to see here, because they had a huge breakaway on the field. First 7 cars were absolutely checked out.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. They were checked out. And now here we are, lap 110. We got 15 laps to go. The energy needs to stay high for these guys, but it feels like it's being sucked out of the room, unfortunately, by these yellows.
Yeah. Just tricky conditions here for this next-gen car. You know, we talk about it, you and I talk about it all the time on the Wednesday night broadcast. Just how easy it is to put this car on the edge and not be able to come back from it. So,
we're seeing it. We're seeing it live.
And that's with the open setup, you know, where guys are able to fine-tune those characteristics out of the car. You know, here with the fixed setup series on a track as difficult as this one can be, you know, you wouldn't be too surprised to see cars, you know, getting light on the back end and coming around. That's exactly what we've seen tonight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And here we are, lap 110. Like I said, it feels a little bit like the energy's kind of been sucked out of the room a little bit. So I'm hoping that the drivers can shake it off and try to give us a nice clean race to the end of tonight's race. We'll see how many green white checkers we end up coming across here, but the characteristics of this track have really been something that has been difficult for these drivers to challenge, and we've seen the track claim drivers like poltergeists, just slamming them up into the track, giving them bumps to deal with, bad transitions. It's been a real slobber knocker, and not just because of cars hitting cars, but because of the track hitting the cars just as much.
Did you just call me
A slobber knocker. You heard me. I called you a slobber knocker.
Well, I'm offended. I don't know why, but I am.
You're offended. No, he's offended, folks. He's picking up a steel chair. Sheldon Atkins, he's picking up a steel chair.
About to pick up a baseball bat.
Oh, I was about to say that. Damn it. You beat me to it. He's got a baseball bat covered in barbed wire. My God. Good old JR.
Welcome
All
to
right,
The Walking
here we
Dead.
go, folks. Here we go, folks. Come back around. Pace car is off. Getting ready to get things started again here. Lap 111 of 125. Justin Lewis and Jacob Zala leading things off right now. Lewis again with a good start. Zala leading the pack from behind. A very tight group of cars back there, though, and we know what happens when that happens here at this racetrack right now. So let's see how things go here in Chicagoland.
Working through 1 and 2, you see the 27 machine of Dalton trying to make it work on the bottom there against Zala again, as we got another incident on the Speedway.
Up.
Merkel.
Well.
And I think I saw a car busted up against that inside wall a little bit further back.
Let's see it.
So Merkel up there on that outside line through 1 and 2.
Down to the inside fast.
Oh.
Ooh.
Somebody gets
That's
loose on the back
76.
straight away. And Bats with a huge impact against the inside wall.
Mm. Folded in half. You just don't want to see it.
You know, I just say a baseball bat.
Folks, there's been an accident down here in the ring. He's getting carried out on a stretcher.
That's Litweiler that got loose in the 71 machine, and it's what we've been running into here tonight.
Got a question from the chat. Who's
Oh,
led
he got
the
a
most
little bit of
laps
help.
tonight?
Litweiler had a little bit of help there, actually. Sovereign
yeah?
looked like he got into the quarter panel and just sent that 71 machine around.
Ugh. Do we know who's led the most laps tonight? Who's been the lap leader?
It's either Dalton or Lewis.
Yeah, one of those two.
And
Not
Dalton,
sure. The lead has changed quite a good number of times tonight.
And
Yeah, once we get the results up here, we might be able to answer that question for you there. Well, let's see. Yeah, we will know. Well, so. Oh, it sounds like Luke Wagner had some trouble with his power. Oh, we're sorry to hear that, Luke. Real sorry that took you off the track, my friend. Well, hopefully next week your things are more stable out there and you're able to stay out and race for a little bit longer, my friend. And now he's chewing for Joshua Stout.
right now, Randolph and Zola trying to work something out here on this restart. Randolph thinking about, trying to give him a little bit of a push here once they get to the box to try and get clear of this 7 machine in 1 and 2. But also Dalton, with Dalton, you got to kind of be nervous at the same time, though. He's been pinched so many times by that 25 machine since we've basically taken the green flag and the 25 got back up to the front. Dalton led a whole bunch of laps. The time's running out. We're going to go green with 10 laps to go here from Chicagoland. And I wouldn't be surprised if Dalton got a little bit aggressive, maybe rough that 25 machine up here in the closing stages.
I'm kind of thinking about that too. Like, who is going to take out one of the leaders? Like, pardon me. Like, who's going to take out the 7 or the 25? Because that's just going to happen at some point here. Zala has just been on the precipice of disaster for the entire race, and I want him to not get wrecked, but I got a feeling it's going to happen.
Well, law of averages here tonight. Based on the law of averages here tonight, if anybody's going to take out the leaders, I think it's going to be the leaders because they've
that's fair.
Been pretty efficient on just overstepping that boundary a little too much. This track is so unforgiving, and this car, it's about as frigid as it gets.
And here we go, folks. Get ready, get set. It's about to start again. And for the last time, maybe. Let's see. More cheers for Ronnie here.
I don't take that bet. You take that bet?
I'm not taking that bet either. Pace car is off. Let's see what happens here. Green flag's waving, and out in front goes Lewis.
And not a great start for that outside line. You see the 25 machine of Zala fall behind. Here comes the 27 to Dalton with a huge send down to 1 and 2. He's going to clear this time. But up on the outside, trying to make something happen to the 25 machine of Zala. It's not going to be enough. Almost into the fence for the 25 down the back straightaway. And here comes the 27 machine of Dalton now trying to make something happen on Lewis as Zala sends it around the outside through 3 and 4.
Zala squeezing him down. So 27 gets up almost into the door. Yes. And in the back, we got one down into the grass. And in the middle of the field, too.
Oh, one car spinning. Hard contact with the pit wall.
This has been a wild one. Merkel, just bad luck after bad luck for Merkel here. Todd Merkel's had a rough one. The second half of this race has not been his race.
Outside line here through 3 and 4. Everything's going good.
Whoa.
Was that Cornette that was hard on the wall there?
Yeah, he was dodging someone. I think it was Chris Cornette.
These two guys have had ample opportunities here tonight, and just everything's worked against them. See Cornette has to check up to avoid gets in the back of the 8 machine. The 8 spins, gets in his quarter panel. And a hard hit for Cornette.
Wow. Unfortunate.
We've all gotten into the situation of avoidable with some of these here recently. A lot of these last few crashes is just these guys going way too hard at it, trying to make something happen while they're running out of time.
All right, boys. Lap 118. We're going to be on about lap 120 when we're getting things started here. We'll be at about a 5-lap stretch to go. We got a few cars going down pit road here. Let's talk about that. About 4 cars. Drew Coons, Josh Stout, Chris Cornett, Todd Merkel, all down pit road. Those guys all beat up as part of what went down.
Yeah, a bunch of guys coming down to fix damage, or some guys are in the back just, coming down pit road and maybe throwing that last set if they have anything left on the box.
Yeah, I think that was Joshua Stout was just doing that. He was just getting his last set and he got out. He might have just gotten gas.
Fuel it up, drop the back of the car a little bit, help with the wind resistance of the spoiler. It could work. I mean, people have been doing it all week at Daytona this week.
And now the drivers are getting set themselves and having a little bit of a chin wag as they get ready to get things going here. Justin Lewis out in front, a man alone with Trevor Dalton and Jacob Zala behind him. Let's see how things go here as we get ready to get going. We got the lights are still up on the pace car here. So while we're doing that, I'm going to talk about our second sponsor, Pinnacle Wraps. Pinnacle Wraps is the official custom car wrap provider for the DB8 Racing League. With hundreds of eye-popping wraps already under their belt, Pinnacle continues to deliver some of the best custom liveries you'll find on iRacing. Don't settle for the same old downloads from the web. Drive Pinnacle, because when you drive Pinnacle, you drive distinction. So be sure to check out, folks, facebook.com/ePinnacleWraps. Hashtag. That's E as in Echo, Pinnacle Wraps hashtag. Facebook.com. Check it out.
I will say it is going to be a very busy night with the post-race debrief for some of these guys.
Yeah. We're going to have some questions. I want to see how things go and how things went from their point of view. I mean, we got our point of view, obviously, but we have that sort of 10,000 foot blimp camera that's got a real overhead view of everything. We don't get that nitty gritty until we watch it on the Wayback Machine or something like that. So getting it from their point of view as it's happening and what was going through their heads, man, that's always exciting. Let's see what happens. There goes the pace car. Here we go. Green yet again. Justin Lewis out in front as we get things going with just 5 laps to go here at Chicagoland Speedway.
And 4 wide through 1 and 2. Doesn't work. Zala gets cycled out there. Dalton trying to make something happen. Mata all the way up against the fence down the back straightaway. Lewis running away with the leads. We got 2 cars into the wall down the back straightaway. And here comes Mata trying to make something happen here in the closing laps. 5 laps to go. Coming across the line this time to take 4. A wash up the track, though. He's going to need a little bit better of a corner than that. As you see Dalton work the bottom of 3 wide. Zala still trying to make something happen around the top.
That 3 wide situation really accordioning, opening and closed as they go through the tri-oval there. Now solidifying just into 2 wide situation. The 27 briefly into the nose of the 25 there. Zala, the 26, excuse me, into the 25. That was Randolph. Whew, that was close. Randolph now down to the inside of Zala. Zala trying to hold that line. Doing pretty good, not up into the wall. Whoop, there goes Randolph. He's blinking a little bit. That's not going to make things easy on these guys as we go around through lap 123 into 124. Let's see what's up.
And 30 laps to go. I think it's going to take a big mistake from Lewis to get this race stolen away from him. Either a big mistake from him or another caution somewhere in the back. Because Lewis, 0.5 of a second. It's going to be really hard for these guys to close with just 2 laps to go. So we got 3 wide racing here into turn 3.
At 3 wide, Sylvia, Thiel, and Nelson are the 3 wide cars briefly there. It looks like Sylvia goes ahead and pulls ahead of that crew and is going to lead them and stretch things out a little bit. The cars have all started to fan out a bit. We got 2 wide a little further back, though. Terry Litwiller next to Ronnie Hurst. Ronnie Hurst in 12th right now, trying to hold on to that position as Terry Litwiller moves up a little bit, clawing forward.
Oh, Solo almost gets turned by Caldwell into 3.
Oh, not good, not good. Caldwell up there on the outside.
Keeps his foot in it. Both drivers walk away clean. Could have been a dicey moment there in front of a bunch of cars, but great driving keeps him pointing in the right direction. 1 lap to go through 1 and 2. Lewis going to lead us down the back straightaway.
Final lap. Justin Lewis in the back straightaway. Michael Matta trying to dodge lap cars, trying to get up to him. Is he going to be able to do it? No, sir, as we go into 3 and 4, and it's going to be nothing, absolutely nothing holding back Justin Lewis as we go through the tri-oval, down across the apron, and across the line to take it all at Chicagoland Speedway. As we got wrecking outside of the tri-oval just a little bit there. What a finish there for Justin Lewis. Didn't go green, white, checkered. No, sir, not siree. We made it all the way past the checkered flag this time. And Justin Lewis, Michael Matta, and Trevor Dalton are going to be your 1, 2, 3 out of the J&M Group Monday Night Cup Series here at Chicagoland Speedway.
See a little bit of congratulations here from your front 2. Matta giving a little bit of push to the back of the 7 machine of Lewis here, as he comes to the front straightaway here to take his burnout after a long race of attrition. I mean, that 7 car went from the back to the front, back to front more times than I think I could count, but able to seal the deal here from Chicagoland.
Very much so, and we had a name there at the end I didn't expect to see. Michael Matta started the race very close to the front of the race pack, but spent a lot of it in the middle of the pack, and then only really at the end here came out for that sort of sprint to the end, but nothing was going to stop Justin Lewis, I think, from that point. And Justin Lewis was just able to hold it down, and it was all that it mattered, was getting across that checkered flag. He did such a great job with his restarts too. We'll be sure to talk to him about those when we get there. In the meantime, let's break down the unofficial results. Justin Lewis in first, Michael Matta in second, Trevor Dalton in third, Maxwell Caldwell in fourth, Dalton Randall in fifth, Nathan Sylvia in sixth, Jacob Zala in seventh, Carolus Thiel in eighth, James Nelson in ninth, and Adam Lowe in 10th.
And bringing home in 11th place is going to be Curtis Soberin with Terry Litweiler in 12th. 13th going to Joshua Stout with Ronnie Hurst in 14th. 15th place going to Joshua Yarborough with Eric Johnson, bringing home 16th. 17th, Drew Kuhn with Chris Cornett after a disappointing night, bringing home 18th. 19th place going to Todd Merkel, and rounding out the top 20 is going to be Dominic Batts.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 21st, Benjamin Smith. 22nd, Jonathan Cassabear. Mike Boone in 23rd. Andrew Paleshi, having previously led the race for a little bit at the beginning there. He ends up in 24th. Luke Wagner in 25th after having a little bit of a tech issue with a power outage, unfortunately, there. And Mark Kazin in 26th. And that's how the race went. That's how the cookie crumbled. And now we are going to talk to the bakers of said cookies. Like my analogy. And we're going to get a chance to see how the race went from their perspective. We'll go ahead and start things off here if we can. We'll see if we can get some folks up into the room. And we will be talking to them very shortly here. See if we can start with Trevor Dalton. Is he available? Let's take a look here. I don't see him right now, so why don't we do this? Sheldon, would you like to talk to Michael Matta here to start things off?
Sure thing.
All right.
Get him up here.
He's already in the green room waiting for us, it looks like. Michael Matta is.
Oh, there we go. And sitting here with second place finisher tonight, Michael Matta. Michael, just walk me through it, man. It was a chaotic race from start to finish, and it felt like more often than not, you were the nail instead of the hammer tonight.
Yeah, it seemed like I was kind of involved in a couple of things. Not too many of them, but I wanted to save that fast repair. I had a little bit of damage throughout the race, and then that last one I was in, I finally used it, and decided to take tires then, or the caution before that, because I knew tires didn't matter too much, unless it was like 5 laps they were new, and then they kind of just died off. So I took them then, and I think I had a little bit better than Justin, but Dirty Air was massive tonight. It was rough.
Yeah, it definitely did not look like a fun night for anybody on the track. So what was the main cause of the cautions? It looked to me like a lot of it was just track and car related. Would you say the same? I mean, we had a couple at the end where it was just obviously guys trying a little too hard. But what do you think the biggest cause issue was here this evening?
Well, the track, it was really tough tonight. The car felt so different in clean air and in dirty air. When a car would slide across your nose or come across your back, if there was a car right in front of you, the car just wouldn't turn. But at the same time, if a car came up behind you, it would snap loose. And if you were alone, it felt all right, and it built tight, and it was just all over the place. The car never really felt the same lap to lap. So I think that might be what a lot of the problem was. It's just the car was really unpredictable tonight, depending on your aero situations.
Well, with the second place here this evening, how do you feel looking forward towards next week?
Man, these races are so hard to call because you got that one less extra set of tire than most people running these leagues. You got one less than the times you got to pit, or even something like that. But it's tough to really get that strategy. It really comes down to what strategy you got. But I think I have like good 5th place speed in this league if I keep my nose clean. Yeah, I look forward to this. This league's a lot of fun so far. Great guys, but looking forward to it. I don't even know where we are next week.
Honestly, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head either, but looking forward to being up here in the booth and calling it nonetheless. But after the second place finish here this evening, who do you want to thank and shout out?
I got a shout out. Well, my teammate was in it. Case Beer had some connection issues, had to leave. But other than that, got a shout out. Cisco Moon makes some music. Check him out. Always got to shout him out. Shout out to the league. Put this together. I know they've been working on it for a few months so far. It's been great. I don't even mind these races with the cautions. I mean, they're still fun to me. Adds a little bit to it, but it's just been so fun so far, these guys. And thanks to you guys for putting on the show so far. It's been great to watch back. Love your guys' overlays. I do a little broadcasting myself, and they look great.
You've made our fearless producer smile and probably shed a tear with that. Either way, thanks for stepping up here and talking to us. I'm going to hand it on over to Joe LaCastro with our race winner, Justin Lewis.
All right. Let's go ahead and shuffle people around here. Justin, can you hear us up here in the booth?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Hey, congratulations on that gold medal tonight, my friend. How you feeling after that race?
I'm going to be completely honest. I don't know how we're here, gentlemen. I have no idea.
Through a series of fortunate events, you have won another race.
Yeah, for sure. I guess let's just recap that I was trying that one caution where the entire field, I think, tried to not explode on the backstretch. I tried to race Trevor there for a minute and kind of decided, like, we're going too hard. We need to kind of back it off a little bit. And when I got behind him, I just took the air off his car. So he gets a little free. Well, I checked up with that upset my car with, I think it was the 88 that was tucked close, and he checked up and then he got loose. Well, he was in my door, so then I got shoved the other direction, and then I don't know, everybody just kind of piled in, so I just had a choice to lock her down, and that was it. That destroyed the car. Then let's see, the next one I tried to get antsy on a restart, tried to kill somebody, killed myself. So that was bad. And then I had still not taking a set of tires this entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Rally from the back, I'm running like, I don't know, 15th or 16th or something. Like, I felt like I'm fighting my life for 15th. And I went to the apron like I usually do here all the time. Every time I ever come here, the apron's really good. And it was, for some reason, tonight was slicker than snot. So I went down there on those old tires and it just got loose. I'm talking like straight line, barely turned the wheel, took off, tried to lock it down. I think I killed the 5. Which, ironically enough, that put me in my incident limit. So I was like, great, we're done. So I jumped mid-race over to Ronnie's channel, and I was like, hey, I have a black flag, for instance. Does that mean I'm done? He goes, no, it should just be a drive-through. I was like, oh shit, there's more of this. So, well, I was like, this is getting bad to worse. So, long story short, they go green. I do a drive-through. Get back out, stay on the lead lap. Some cautions fell our way. I took my first set of tires as I did, I don't know how many minutes of damage that was replaced on this car to the first fast repair. And we just tried to hang on for a minute and then got a spot to take some tires fairly early. Or no, it was probably, I think we put like 8th or 9th, took tires finally, got up to like 3rd or 4th, pitted with everybody, trying to get back on the same cycle, but I thought they already took their set of tires, so I was going to take my other set of tires. So I took my last set of tires, like 45 to go, not good on fuel. It did not look good. And then we finally get to the point where these cautions pile up, and I ended up going and getting enough fuel saved, and I think those boys behind us had a little better tire, but I was just trying not to get touched or looked at the wrong way, because it just felt like one of those nights where it didn't matter what I did or what happened, either myself or others were not fun.
Well, we were watching you on the restarts during the latter half of this race, my friend, and you had some of the better restarts out of anybody who was leading the race at this point. You led 44 laps of this race, which is a very sizable chunk considering how often the lead switched places during the course of tonight's race. How are you feeling towards the end of the race? Now, we talked a little bit about, we just recapped a lot of it, but during those restarts, was your how did you, I'm trying to figure out how your restarts are so good. Basically, is there a specific strategy that you employ, or were you just thinking on those restarts, I've got to stay ahead of everyone?
Pretty much, I just knew I had a disadvantage on tires. At least I thought I did. I'm not exactly sure what they had, but long story short, I just knew that they were the hunter and I was the hunted now, instead of me being, flipped. So all we try to do is just get good starts, and I have a theory that a lot of these guys have that auto blip shifting on. That's a setting that you could take off. I don't run that. It always seems to help on the restarts, and anytime you're shifting a lot, it feels like I get an advantage, and I'm usually pretty good at that anyway, but really just trying to get the jump as the leader with that restart box rule. It gives you more of an advantage in the old days where you kind of had to be really careful or like wait till the pace car pulled off. I mean, there's still a big advantage with that, but this restart box deal gets real touchy because you don't know what you're getting into by the time you get to one. So you just want to clear them and it kind of set sail. So that's what we did. Luckily it worked out. The 25 was hunting there before those last couple cautions, and he seemed to disappear, so I don't know what happened to him, but it was another rough race. It started out well. The 3/4 mark pretty much was bad, and we somehow pulled that off. So I'll take what I get.
Yeah. All right. You looking forward to Pocono next week?
I'm not looking forward to Pocono because Andrew is a menace when it comes to that place. He hunts me down and usually gets you with 5 to go every time. So he's a problem that we want to reckon with. Hopefully we can try to finally beat him this time.
All right. Well, hey, we got 2 names to look at going into Pocono next week. Thank you for your time, Justin. Anybody you want to shout out to or thank for your performance tonight?
Shout out to 1320 the gang. We're always good every week, no matter where we go. And I feel more bad for Todd because there was a point where Todd led some laps, and we were kind of hoping he had a shot at it, and then he got spun. So that was sad. But Andrew had another incident where he got tore up early. So yeah, I think if we get a solid race, it could be a battle for 1320 for the lead and for the wins. But other than that, you guys, for another good broadcast. Can't wait to go back and watch that one sometime here later, and hopefully we can do a better job as a group. This track's fun. It's not the problem of the track. It's just one of those nights. I was trying to say, even myself, I had one of those off nights, and somehow be coming back. That usually doesn't happen. So we'll be better next week. But still everybody getting used to each other. It's only the second race really having people close to each other. So we'll get better. We'll talk about it and go on from there.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to continuing to broadcast it and see how you guys grow as a crew. Justin Lewis, that our gold medal, our first place finisher for tonight's race. Thank you, Justin.
Thanks, boys. Have a good one.
You too. And that is going to wrap things up for our production here out of Chicago. Sheldon, how you feeling after that one?
I mean, it wasn't the night that most of these guys were looking for, but through difficult races like this, it's really a good time for a league to assess and grow from the mistakes that were made. Chicagoland definitely threw a curveball for all these guys. I mean, it's great seeing such a abrasive, worn-out track surface being utilized to its full potential here on iRacing. And looking forward to seeing what next week has in store. And I think we'll move on to next week.
I think we will. Hey, that's Pocono that we're going to next week as well. The Tricky Triangle. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, it's going to be fun. So we've got a lot of fun racing coming up, folks. Remember to hit the like and subscribe button. Follow us on all socials, and Grid Vision will continue to kick out the good stuff for you. So we're going to wrap things up, and from the entire Grid Vision team, I want to thank you for watching and for participating in the chat. For more information on getting your league broadcast or starting your career in broadcasting, contact us on Facebook, X, or email us at info@gridvision.live. Congratulations again to Justin Lewis on winning tonight's race from Chicagoland. This has been Joe LaCastro, Sheldon Atkins, and our producer, Austin Derbyshire. And hey, we'll see you next time on the grid.